Welcome dear students. Today we are going to do this exercise on vocabulary. You have been given the instructions to use the words which are in brackets to form new words so that the blanks that are there in the exercise can be filled. According to experts, the way you spend your free time is vital to your general happiness. So happy will be converted into happiness. And getting the right balance is very important. So get here will be converted into getting. It goes without saying that physical fitness is the key. So everyone's leisure time should include some form of exercise. So fit will be converted into fitness. Ideally, something that you find enjoying. So ideal will be changed into ideally and enjoy will be changed into enjoying. Most people also gain satisfaction from doing something creative, such as painting, cooking, or gardening. So, satisfy has been converted into satisfaction, and create has been changed into creative. However, not all your free time activity should be solitary, or you may end up feeling lonely. So active has been changed into activity. Companionship is also important to most people's sense of well-being. So companion is changed into companionship. But you must find the right kind of social interaction. So interact is changed into interaction. Membership in some groups such as political parties can simply lead to stress and frustration. So member is changed into membership, politics to political, and frustrate to frustration. Joining a societal group like a blood donation society or yoga classes are likely to be much more beneficial. So society is changed into societal and benefit into beneficial. Now we'll move on to transitive and intransitive verbs. Here is a list of verbs which have been both used as transitive and intransitive. Let's go through them. Change. Marriage hasn't changed her. The areas changed greatly in the last decade. So the next verb is close. Close your eyes. I've got a surprise for you. Most shops here close at 5:30 p.m. Then we move on to the third verb, open. Open the window, it's too hot in here. The museum opens at 10 a.m. Then we have do as a verb. Have you done your coursework? Joe's doing well in his new job. Then set. Kate set a chair next to the bed. The sun was setting and a red glow filled the sky. Run. Michelle used to run a restaurant. And as an intransitive verb, the same verb we can see here used as the path ran over the hill. Live. Our cat lived till he was 10. And as intransitive, he was living a life of luxury abroad. Write. Write your name here. And then Kevin couldn't read or write. Here it's used as intransitive verb. Now if you look at these sentences, they are written in two columns, transitive and intransitive verbs. So if you see in the column where the verbs are being used as transitive, you will see that there is a difference between these sentences and the verb that is used as intransitive in the second column. In the third column. So let's see that what's the difference between transitive and intransitive. Now transitive verbs, they need an object. Let's see this example. I bought a car. Now bought here is a transitive verb. And why is it a transitive verb? Because it has a direct object. That is, you buy something or something is an object. So what did you buy? You buy a car. You cannot just say I bought, because then it would be incomplete and incorrect. So you need a direct object after a transitive verb. So that is why here in this case bought is a transitive verb because it has got an object. And then in the case of intransitive verb, it cannot have an object. For example, the baby smiled. Now we don't have an object over here. So here smiled is an intransitive verb. And then here verbs, some of the verbs are both transitive and intransitive, as we have seen in the previous slide. Let me go back to the slide so that you can understand. Now here in the first one, marriage hasn't changed her. Now after change, the object is her. Whereas in the next column, if you see, the areas change greatly in the last decade. There is no object here. So that is why it's intransitive verb. Then close your eyes. I have got a surprise for you. Here again, close is a transitive verb, and then in the second column, most shops here close at 5:30 p.m. Now here you see that close does not take any object. Then open the window, it's too hot in here. So in these two sentences, they are imperatives. Close your eyes, open the window. Now whoever is giving the instruction is giving the instruction to somebody. So that somebody is the object. So that is why in these two sentences, close and open are transitive verbs. Then we move on to the next verb, do. Have you done your homework? Or sorry, have you done your coursework? Now here, have you done your coursework? Coursework is the object here. Now Joe's doing well in his new job. Here, after doing, there is no object. So this is how you see that you can differentiate between the transitive and intransitive verbs. Another important thing to remember or to differentiate between the transitive and the intransitive verbs is that transitive verbs can be changed into passive, whereas intransitive verbs cannot be changed into passive. Now let's move on to the exercise here. You have been asked to point out the transitive verbs and the intransitive verbs. So the exercise starts here. The first sentence, if you look at the bottom of the page here, she was crying all day long. It's an intransitive verb. We showed her the photo album. That's the transitive verb, because after showed there is her as an object. Now, the doctor advised me to exercise regularly. Here, me is the object and advised is the transitive verb. It was raining at that time. This does not take any object, so it's intransitive verb. She laughed at the joke. Intransitive verb. She gave a cookie to the child. Transitive verb. They slept in the street. Intransitive verb. I hate the cherries. So I ate the cherries. Transitive verb. My father doesn't drink coffee. Transitive verb. He always keeps his money in a wallet. Transitive verb. Again, here you have to tell that whether the verbs in the following sentences are transitive or intransitive, and then you have to use these verbs in your own sentences. So in your notebooks you are going to make the sentences of these verbs. Some ants fight fiercely. Intransitive verb. The explosion sank the ship. Transitive verb. He spoke loudly. Intransitive verb. Boil the water. Transitive verb. The horse kicked the boy. Transitive verb. The watchman blew his whistle. Transitive verb. He took shelter under a tree. Transitive verb. The birds sang sweetly. Intransitive verb. The fire burns brightly. Intransitive verb. Birds fly in the sky. Intransitive verb. Time heals all wounds. Transitive verb. You surprise me. Transitive verb. Do sit down. Intransitive verb. I usually sleep well. Intransitive verb. Let's eat something. Transitive verb. So hopefully the concept of transitive and intransitive is clear to you. Now in this exercise, in these 14 sentences, you have to pick out these verbs and then you have to make sentences of these verbs. So it's up to you whether you make the sentences in transitive verb or intransitive verbs. Thank you.